tuned into Buffalo Bulls Radio. This is UB Football Insider with Lance Leipold, presented by Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill, co-sponsored by Kegworks and A-Turf. Brought to you in part by our Team UB partners, New Era Cap, Nike, AdPro Sports, WGRZ Channel 2, Pepsi, Town BMW, and ComDoc. UB Football Insider is coming to you live from Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill. Here's UB head football coach Lance Leipold and Assistant Athletic Director for Communications, John Fuller.
Good evening, and thanks for tuning us in to UB Football Insider with head coach Lance Leipold, taking a break from as fans get ready for the Buffalo Bills game tonight. Let's talk a little Buffalo Bulls football. 15 days off, Coach. What have you guys been doing all your time off? How do you utilize the time?
It's been a long time. It's like we're starting over, and it will be good to kind of get a fresh start with it. We practice 4 times each week. Over the weekend, the coaches spent 2 days on the road recruiting, and then quickly got our full attention for Nevada, and we'll be heading out tomorrow morning. And excited to get going Saturday night.
Obviously a disappointing outcome in the opener, but I thought there were a lot of positives that came out of that game. I thought talk about the defense. I thought the defense played pretty well. Saved a couple big plays that Albany pulled off. All in all, I thought the defense played very well. Yeah,
I think when you look at the whole body of work, but again, when we could take 2 or 3 plays on that side of the ball, 3 or 4 on the other side, and hopefully it's a different outcome. But that's what makes football the game that it is, and you got to be sharp for 60 minutes. And I think on both sides is we talked a couple weeks back when we went into this is that. We're one of the least experienced football teams in the country, and unfortunately, I think some of that showed in the opener, and hopefully we can close that gap on some of those things very quickly.
Yeah, one of the areas where you seem to have experience, though, is that defensive line. A year ago, it was a very young unit, all 4 new starters last year, but this year, all your starters are back, and you have a lot of depth. Can I talk about the defensive line?
Yeah, I think, our defensive line depth with, some of the additions in the offseason. The experience that you alluded to is actually going to hopefully allow us to redshirt a couple players that played last year and keeping us. We're rotating upwards of 10 people or more in that defensive line, which is going to be good. And what you could see is that we didn't have a lot of defensive snaps in that opener, and that was, again, being able to stop the run and play a lot of guys. I think that's going to be one of the strengths of our football team.
Yeah, also another strength, I think, was running the football. The Bulls, between running backs and quarterbacks, rushed for 226 yards in that game. That was more than any game last season. I had to go back to the late 2014 season last time we rushed for that many yards. Can I talk about the running game?
Yeah, and I think, when you look at the game and coming out on the short end and being disappointed, you look at the turnovers, but you just hit on a key point. That was one of our best rushing performance in our time here. I think when, the biggest thing that we had talked about leading it up in the preseason during camp was the ability of the quarterbacks, both quarterbacks being able to add some and be able to get those tough yards, because those yards were there, but in the fourth quarter we didn't run the ball when we really needed to, and that's something. If you're going to be a winning football team, you want to be contend for division and conference championships, be in bowl games. You got to be able to be consistent. And I think in this part of the country, you're going to have to run the ball, too, late in the season.
Yeah, both quarterbacks ran the ball very well. Tyree Jackson and Grant Rohach combined for 71 quarterback rushing yards. That's a lot different than last year. I mean, Joe Licata was more of primarily a passing quarterback. Wasn't really a good runner. How does that open the playbook for you when you have quarterbacks going to run like that?
Well, it makes defenses have to defend everyone that's eligible. That so to speak. There, it opens up a lot of run-pass options, and for the quarterback. And when something breaks down, you've got a chance for things to happen. And again, that's a big part of what we want to do, and who we want to be with those guys. And there's only so many hits sometimes you're going to take, and quarterbacks, if they become your primary runner, you worry about durability through 12 football games.
Yeah, would you say that a lot of those runs then were not necessarily designed runs, more instinctive runs?
There are a couple that kind of broke down, but most of those are zone read type game. Our calls, and between Grant and Tyree being such a big body, and we can get them to that third level. It's I don't know if there's going to be a lot of defensive backs that want to continue to tackle a 6'6", 240-pound guy all day, and hopefully he can start making it tough on those people.
Yeah, well, one of the benefits you do have is you have a very good running back game. I thought Jordan Johnson played well. He had 114 yards in his fourth career start. Now 3 of his 4 career starts. He's going over 100 yards. Talk about Jordan's game.
Yeah, I think Jordan continues to raise the level of his play, becoming even more and more of a vocal leader. I see him as a guy who's getting more comfortable in that role. And again, I think he's very focused and determined to have an outstanding year. Jonathan Hawkins, showed flashes. Last year was probably one that, with Anthony Taylor and Jordy, we had 2 solid backs, but you can see Jonathan's a little bit different, a little bit quicker, a little more speed. And, he gives us another dimension, and we got to continue to find ways to get the ball in his hands as well.
Yeah, I think the two of them work together really well. It's kind of that thunder and lightning combination. Jordan Johnson is more of a bruiser, likes to run over guys, while Hawkins is a little more elusive. Is that, is that the game plan?
Yeah, I think it kind of plays out that way, the way you want that. They both add complement each other, give it's a little bit of a change up when Jonathan comes on the field. There'll be snaps when they're on the field together. But, a nice added dimension. I think we feel good about, the core of running backs, that stable of guys that are there. I think Emmanuel Reed and Zach Nicholas give us some added speed that we haven't had in the past, and hopefully we'll have a chance to utilize all of them.
Yeah, a lot of new faces at wide receiver that fans got to see for the first time. I thought Kamadi Holsey had a nice game. I think, obviously Marcus McGill is back and is another leader in the locker room, but thinking of
Malcolm
KJ,
Robinson,
and KJ Osborne. Sorry.
Yeah, and KJ Osborne's a redshirt freshman, played his first game. Kamadi Holsey, junior college transfer, played a lot of snaps. Kamadi's a big body receiver with excellent speed. He just continues to get better. We got to find ways to take shots downfield with him. We mentioned Malcolm Robinson, Marcus McGill, 2 of the more experienced guys. And then KJ's a guy. Jamal Island's a guy who, to me, is really this fall camp and really the last 5 weeks has continued to get better. You can see his confidence growing. He feels more comfortable. He's been healthy, and I think he's one that's helping us in the return game, but also as a receiver. And as we hope that Jacob Martinez continues to heal and be able to return to the lineup.
Yeah, and I thought I was pretty pleased with the way the quarterbacks and the wide receivers seem to be on the same page for the most part, considering, a lot of new guys in the locker room. It seemed like the guys, connected pretty well. Yeah,
I think that's a tribute to, spring ball and the summer. And then, again, that we've mentioned many times on this show about how we practice and how we go about getting a lot of reps and working multiple huddles, and both quarterbacks got a lot of work and continue to get a lot of work, and they're comfortable with all those guys that we mentioned.
All right, well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll break down our opponent Nevada this week. Nevada. I know you
tomato, but
right.
You just want to take a break because you want to dive back into those chicken wings like you were going into before.
We are here at Santora's on Millersport. The wings are very good. I'll try to leave some for you, Coach, all right? You're listening to UB Football Insider with Lance Leipold live on ESPN 1520. We'll be right back.
Join us at Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill. Hey, it's Paul Santora letting you know we have 2 great locations. One on Millersport Highway next to the Marriott, one on Transit Road next to Transit Lanes. We've got 60 taps, 66 TVs. All of our food is made to order with...
You guys good? Because your guys' connection was cutting out a couple times there.
Oh, did it cut out? Hold on one second.
Enjoy football and hockey with great drink and food.
Yeah, but it came back for the last 7 minutes. It was fine.
Strong, the only family to say
the last 7 minutes were okay?
Should be fine.
Okay.
Grill, great food, great people, great beer.
Hello, this is Guy for the Kegworks store. Are you sick of that name?
Also, too, can you turn your both of your guys' your mics up just a little bit because it was kind of low.
You want us to turn the mics up?
I had to pot it up all the way, and it was just a little bit.
Get to the Kegworks store at 1460 Military Road in Kenmore, just south of Sheridan. Until next time, this is that Kegworks guy reminding you, go to the Kegworks store.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, thank you.
It's all while making it.
Much better.
You drive for a cause.
Yep.
your community and help us achieve our goal of raising up to $1.5 million simply by taking a test drive. Register at bmwusa.com/drive for a cause. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. BMW of North America will contribute $200,000 to Team USA and will match the dealer's contribution up to $5,000 towards the dealer's charity of choice, whether you participate or not.
Lease and finance offers available by Town BMW through BMW Financial Services.
Buffalo sports fans, the Bulls are back at UB Stadium when they host the Army Black Knights on Saturday, September 24th at 7 p.m. Stampede Square opens at 4 p.m. featuring fun, family entertainment, and country music star David Nail on the Tailgate Concert Series stage. For tickets and more information, call...
All right, 10 seconds.
Bulls.com. It's football, tailgating, and live music. So make sure to be counted and get your tickets today.
All right, we're back here live at Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill on Millersport Highway and also on ESPN 1520. Just a reminder, while the Bulls are on the road this weekend in Nevada.
Here's John Fuller.
Yeah, while the Bulls are back on the road on this Saturday at Nevada, the Bulls will be back home on Saturday, September 24th against Army, and tickets are still available. We can call 877-UB there, visit the UB ticket office, or go on the website at ubbulls.com. All right, Coach, let's talk about the Nevada team. You know, second year in a row we're playing them. What's different about the Wolfpack this year than maybe last year's team?
Well, I think starting offensively, they have a lot of returning players, very experienced, very productive players. 4 of their 5 starters in the offensive line are back. Starting quarterback, the running back Butler's an excellent player, hurt us a lot last year. But within that offense, and then first I should go to two big receivers, made big plays, but a new offensive coordinator. So they're taking some of the things that they did last year, very good play action, a lot of zone stuff, great zone scheme and what they're doing, and they're adding some up-tempo and no-huddle things with it. So they've added a little bit. They've played up to 3 quarterbacks in a game, one of them being one of their starting safety, who's an option quarterback. So they're really throwing a lot of looks at you, a lot of one-time plays that really kind of gives Brian Borland nightmares, causing him to stay up at night because you got to be able to defend those plays, but you may be only seeing them once. So that's what you see on the offensive side. Defensively, very similar scheme, but they lost a lot up front. A couple of their defensive linemen were in NFL camps. Lost a couple good linebackers, but same schematically. Defense in the secondary, many returning players there, very confident, athletic group, not afraid to get up and press you, not afraid to play a lot of man coverage, but they'll mix it up, and again, that'll be a good test for us.
Yeah, how do you prepare for 3 quarterbacks?
Well, I think you mainly just worry about what schemes and we'll kind of narrow it down, what they've done with those quarterbacks in the game, and kind of still stay within the formation breakdowns of what we're doing. And I mean, one of them, it's strictly you're kind of going to get the double wing in the option, and it'll be interesting if we'll see that, because I know Coach Polian, is from here, and I'm sure he's got a lot of people that are paying attention to what we're doing. At the same time, we're playing Army next week, so we're getting option preparation. So I don't know. I don't know if that was a one-time thing for Notre Dame. Try to catch them off guard a little bit. As far as the 2, we're playing 2. A lot of people in the country during our off week. I couldn't believe how many schools in the country are really playing with 2 quarterbacks right now, and kind of fits in where we're at.
Yeah, I remember a season ago, Butler, their running back, really hurt the Bulls.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you counteract that for this season?
Well, I think it's going to be important. We talked in the last segment about our defensive front, the experience and depth we have at linebacker and that whole front 7. We just got to be gap sound. I think when we looked at what happened last year, he broke off a 91-yard run, deep backed up, and we tackled him inside the 5. But I mean, it was just a matter of being in the gaps we're supposed to be in, and not causing those big plays to happen. We got to be able again to neutralize the line of scrimmage and make them kind of one-dimensional, get them in those long yardage situations. But he's an excellent back, and that old saying, I don't know if you can ever stop him. You just want to hope to contain him.
Yeah, but I have to think that being more experienced on defense has to help, because a season ago, you're young, they weren't really sure what to expect, and now they have that experience. They played this team, so hopefully they know their assignments a little more.
Yeah, it kind of hits you right between the eyes a little bit when you watch last year's game. You start looking at film, and you're like, there were a lot of snaps where minimally we had 3 true freshmen on the field, besides some redshirt freshmen. There were even some, we had 4 true freshmen on the field playing against them. And there were some guys that got on-the-job training last year, and that's where hopefully it pays off now as you go for round 2.
Yeah, just the 10th time the Bulls will be traveling west of the Mississippi to play a game in the history of UB football. And obviously we played it in Nevada in 2004, but it's a match the furthest trip west the Bulls have ever traveled to play a football game. What are the challenges for playing a game on the West Coast?
You better make sure you don't forget anything. But it's one of those things that you do have time zone. You do have things that kind of play a part. You're looking at weather. In Reno, in and of itself, you may have temperatures as high as low to mid 80s during the day, and then later at night it may be in the 50s, and things like that just kind of play a part in that of what you have to take, what you have to be prepared. Sleep schedules are important, but we made a decision that we would travel, tomorrow. Not, sometimes teams will leave, on a Thursday, but we thought, we can put together a plan and feel confident about it that we'll get there and we'll treat Friday as if we're still on Eastern time, and then kind of modify ourselves a little bit as we head into Saturday and get ready for kickoff.
Yeah, I was looking at the weather forecast for Saturday. High of 85, low of 47. So it kind of runs the gamut there. I think that desert weather, when the sun goes behind the mountain, it really gets cold there. But I think for game time, it's supposed to be in the low 60s. So it'll be
I've kind of seen different ones. Sometimes it's lower in the morning. It wasn't going to be, but I'm pretty confident. And as doing this for a long time, as I look, pretty confident that even though it's a 6 o'clock kickoff, 9 o'clock really for our time back here. For most 18 to 22, 23-year-olds, 9 o'clock to midnight is usually a prime time for them on Saturdays. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be ready to go.
That sounds great. Before I let you go, Coach, I just want to mention this week's Sports Illustrated has Cleo Mack on the cover. I don't know if you saw that.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. Actually, I saw your tweet, actually. Yeah, so I tried to retweet you.
You follow me on Twitter?
Absolutely. One of the prime ones. So, what a great thing for Cleo and what he's been doing in his career, but also great acknowledgement for our program and our university, and we continue to wish him the best, and awful proud. I know everyone that and he's so humble when he comes back. That's a pretty neat thing.
But how important is that? To help your program here at UB, when you can show that to a recruit. Hey, you too can be on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, I think our whole conference has been able to show that. But when you show just right here in our program that you have somebody like that each and every time he's on a Sunday or what they're talking, where he's going, that's something that we do try to use to our benefit as often as we can.
I know the Raiders are home this week, and any chance Cleo makes the 3-hour drive from the Bay Area just to come to see the game?
That one I don't know. Probably on lockdown, but I do know there are some fans that during our coaches caravan this spring that were talking about that they were going to go to our game and then go out there to watch him. So hopefully at least somebody will get a chance. But we'd love to get to where he can get back to a game or catch us sometime in action. But I'm sure he's focused on his duties as well.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, we appreciate your time, Coach. We're going to let you go. We're going to bring in, after the break, we're going to bring in senior tight end Mason Schreck. So we'll do that right after this. You're listening to UB Football Insider with Lance Leipold on ESPN 1520.
From U Sports to the NFL, A-Turf synthetic grass fields are helping athletes have fun and perform at their peak. More than 30 Western New York schools and over 400 schools nationwide call A-Turf their home field. It's what the UB Bulls play on and the Buffalo Bills too. A-Turf Titan has the highest safety rating and the longest warranty. A-Turf, optimal performance for athletes, superior value for owners. Learn more at aturf.com.
Join us at Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill. Hey, it's Paul Santora letting you know we have 2 great locations. One on Millersport Highway next to the Marriott, one on Transit Road next to Transit Lanes. We've got 60 taps, 66 TVs. All of our food is made to order with the freshest and most natural ingredients. Both locations have live music, Millersport on Friday, Transit Friday and Saturday night. There's no better place to enjoy football and hockey with great drink and food specials for every game. Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill since 1927. 4 generations strong, the only family to say we are the original. Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill. Great food, great people, great beer.
There's only one place to discover the BMW difference, all while making a difference. At the BMW Drive for a Cause. Show support for your community and help us achieve our goal of raising up to $1.5 million simply by taking a test drive. Register at bmwusa.com/drive for a cause. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. BMW of North America will contribute $200,000 to Team USA and will match the dealer's contribution up to $5,000 towards the dealer's charity of choice where he participates.
Leasing finance offers available by Town BMW through BMW Financial Services.
Country music fans get the VIP experience this fall during the Seneca Niagara Tailgate Concert Series at UB Football for only $36. This year's acts include Jared Neiman, David Nail, Chris Lane, Eddie Money, and more. Your VIP experience gets you front of the stage access and game ticket.
All right, 10 seconds.
eBulls.com. It's country music, football, and tailgating. What else do you need?
Welcome back to UB Football Insider with Lance Leipold, live from Santora's Pizza Pub and Grill on Millersport Highway, right next to UB Stadium. Here's John Fuller.
All right, welcome back to Santora's on Millersport Highway. Just again, another reminder, next Saturday, the Bulls are back home in action against Army against September 24th. That's a 7 p.m. start. Tickets are available at 877-UB there or by visiting the UB Alumni Arena ticket office or visiting ubbulls.com. Also, basketball season tickets are also on sale. You can also call the same numbers and visit the ticket office for basketball tickets, as well as basketball season's right around the corner as well. So with that, we're going to welcome in our guest for the evening, senior tight end Mason Schreck. How you doing, Mason?
Doing good, John. How are you?
I'm doing great. For a good opening game for you, led the Bulls in receiving, 5 catches, 58 yards, touchdown. Do you feel good to get back in the end zone? It's been a little while.
Yeah,
your freshman year, a couple of touchdowns.
It's been a few years, but it did definitely feel good to get back in the end zone.
Yeah, he had to kind of give the touchdown passes to Matt Weiser the last couple of years, you know. But
yes, sir.
Yeah, talk about Matt and just, and your relationship with him, because obviously, while Matt was technically the starter, you started a lot of games and you played probably as many snaps as Matt did. Kind of talk about your relationship with Matt and what you learned from him.
Yeah, just to start off, playing quarterback in high school, I came into a great situation. Just learning from guys like Jimmy Gordon, Alex Dennison, and Matt Weiser. It was a blessing to be able to be put in that house that first summer I was here. So, being able to learn from him, all 4 years, going into my 5th year, was truly a blessing. Definitely lining up against Khalil Mack, that helped too my first few years. So, yeah, but Matt's a great guy. He was a great guy to learn from. He's a tremendously hard worker. And I learned so much from him in the film room. And I think that's what really separated him from a lot of guys, was just his knowledge of the game and his IQ and things like that. So, we had a great relationship. We still do. We still keep in touch. And he's rooting for me just like I'm rooting for him. And, so it was just definitely a blessing to play with him. On the field last year, we had a lot of 2 tight end sets. So, that sort of opened up our offense in a new way. And it was just great to play with him.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier. I don't know if a lot of fans realize you were a quarterback in high school.
Yeah.
What was your weight in high school?
I think the most I weighed was probably like 220 up in there. So
how did you play tight end at all? And how did you become a tight end? Did it happen after were you recruited as a tight end?
So at first, I played 1 year of tight end in Pee Wee football back when I was like 9 or 10. But I actually asked my Pee Wee coach if I could move to quarterback, and then I did really well. And ever since then, I played quarterback. But originally, I wanted to play quarterback in college. And Buffalo originally offered me to play quarterback in college. But there was a little hiccup at the end, and they ended up taking a kid named Colin Michael. But Coach Wood and Coach Quinn offered my scholarship to play tight end. So that summer, I worked really hard, because I didn't really know truly what I was going to play. So I kind of came in, to that summer and, trained to be a quarterback and also trained to be a tight end. So my trainers back home did a great job with me. And my high school coaches back home. So, just making that transition, it wasn't easy, but, coming in and learning from guys like Matt and Jimmy and all those guys was great for me.
Now, looking back 5 years later, are you happy with that decision? Obviously you've had a great career and you're senior, hoping to have, continue that great career. You'd be happy we made that move?
Yeah, it's, looking ahead a little bit at the next level. The tight end's definitely a growing position. I was just blessed to play as a redshirt freshman, It would have been my second year at the time playing tight end. This is only my fourth or fifth year playing tight end. So I've learned a lot, and I love the position I'm playing. It's really fun, and you just kind of be an athlete out there, and that's what you got to do. So.
Yeah, it's interesting too because it's almost like the tight end it's a dying breed. I mean, you don't see it too much in college football with all these spread offenses and everything. Right. I mean, talk about the uniqueness of your position and kind of how lucky you are to be here. where the tight end is very relied upon.
Yeah, well, we saw it a lot last year. Matt had a great year. I had a decent year. And I'm blessed to be in this offense. Coach K does a great job of putting us in the best position to succeed. So whether that be me being split out, versus a linebacker or a safety, to create matchup problems, or to be at the point of attack on the line blocking, either one of those things. It's just a part of the game and how the game's evolving. If you look to the next level, the tight end's a big spot on the field. So that excites me a lot. Looking ahead to the future.
Yeah, and I already know the answer to this question, but I have to ask anyway. As a tight end, I mean, do you prefer to block or pass or catch the passes?
Oh man, I just say a little bit of both.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah.
What do you primarily what do you do more of? I guess throughout a game.
I think it really depends. If we're running the option, I got to be at the point of attack, blocking the Sam or the Will, whoever it may be. But I got to also create matchup problems, and that's what I really enjoy doing. Is when I see a linebacker, typically, I like to think that I'm faster than him. I see a safety, I like to think that I'm bigger than them. So, I kind of feel, going in that, I'm kind of unguardable, at times. That's got to be your mindset.
Yeah. So you talked about all the guys that kind of helped you along with Matt Weiser and Jimmy Gordon, but now you're the old veteran in the locker room.
Yeah.
Talk about your leadership skills. How do you a leader by example, leader by a vocal leader? How do you lead in the locker room?
I like to lead by example. That's been my thing my whole life. We got a lot of young guys like Tyler Mabry, who's definitely had a great camp, great spring ball, and he's doing a great job this year so far. He's going to be really successful. He's a tremendously hard worker. Got guys like Glenn Molinich, Kevin Rogers, Andrew Gray, who transferred in from Maryland, and then Zach LaFave, and then Jake Molinich too. So just embracing that role as a leader. We got a lot of guys and a lot of new guys in my room, especially, and just bringing them along. They're all great guys, tremendously hard workers. So. They're going to be successful.
Yeah. You're an Ohio kid, high school teammate of Chris Ford. You guys, both from from same high school, and kind of talk about your relationship with Chris and kind of how you kind of helped bring him along to come to UB.
Yeah, he was a different kid in high school.
He still is a little different.
He is. He's a great kid. He's absolutely hilarious. He's come a long way though, and. Like I said before, we weren't as close as we were in high school. We've definitely grown closer over the years, traveling back and forth to home and, even working out when we're home. Chris has come a long way. He's a great player. He's going to continue to grow, continue to become a great player. We're lucky to have him on the team, and I was lucky to, grow up with him and just see him kind of grow up. I've seen him come a long way. That's exciting to see.
Yeah, he's got Nevada this weekend. Yep. You looking forward to the trip to Reno?
I'm excited.
Have you ever been out there before?
I've never been. The farthest I've been out west is the Idaho Potato Bowl. So this will be similar to that.
Further than that. So.
Yeah, a little further.
We look at last year's game against Nevada, and Matt Weiser had a record-breaking game in that game. So obviously, the tight end will have an opportunity in this game. Are you looking forward to playing the Wolfpack?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I didn't get a chance to play in this game last year. I was sidelined with an injury. I saw Matt be successful. That's exciting to see. And hopefully we just want to come back with a win, John. That's all we want to do. We're going out there as a business trip for us. It's time to get that first win. We're going to put this, this past loss to Albany in the rear view, and we're going to go out there and get a victory.
Yeah, it has been encouraging to see as I've come seeing you guys practice. It seems like you have put that behind you, and it seems like it's been a pretty, a positive, a lot of positive attitude around there. It seems like you can tell there's, a lot of, I don't know if it's senior leadership, a lot of maturity. It seems like, the guys have kind of, are ready to move forward and realize, hey, we have 11 games left in this season.
We've got a lot of football to play. We all know the mindset of Coach Leipold. He's done a great job of, letting us know what that is, and it's transitioned down the pyramid from seniors down to juniors, down to sophomores, down to freshmen. So, the team is, we're in a good mindset. We're not, just put it in the rear view. We've got a lot of football to play left. So, we're excited for this upcoming game.
All right, well, we wish you luck, Mason, and we encourage everybody to tune in to ESPN 1520 on Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on ESPN 1520. You can also watch the game on the Mountain West Network, and you can also watch the game on Twitter. Did you know that, Mason?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, our game's going to be live on Twitter,
That's
so it'll
cool.
be, I know the Bills game tonight is also on Twitter, but our game against Nevada is going to be on Twitter as well, so it'll be interesting to see how that looks. So you have to check that out. But we don't appreciate everybody. We appreciate you joining the Mason. I want to thank Coach Leipold for joining us. I want to thank Frank back in the studio, and we'll see everybody here next Thursday.
Go Bulls.
Yeah, go Bulls. Take care, everyone. Good night.
There's only one place to discover the BMW difference, all while making a difference.
All right, cool.
All right. Thank you, Frank.
Work for your community and help us